Married at First Sight Season 18's Michelle Tomlin is a worse villain on the series than David Trimble, as her ego has made her overly critical. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Married at First Sight Season 18's Michelle Tomlin has been dubbed the villain of the season, and while I thought her husband David Trimble may have been more sinister, I think Michelle's ego makes her the bigger villain on the series. Michelle, who joined Married at First Sight Season 18 with the hopes she'd find someone to spend her life with, has been having a hard time throughout her time on the show. Despite knowing that she's been working on her relationship with David, Michelle hasn't been able to handle many of the basic facts of her MAFS husband's lifestyle. Michelle and David's relationship has been contentious from the beginning of the season, but things have grown worse as time has gone by. With the couples throughout the Married at First Sight Season 18 cast all having their struggles in their relationships, it's been notable that David and Michelle haven't passed the villainous titles over to others throughout the course of the experiment. Instead, the pair have spent their time on the show struggling and making the rest of the pairs seem healthier in comparison. With Michelle's ego putting a major wedge between her and David, things have been tough. Although Michelle's behavior has changed on some fronts throughout the course of Married at First Sight Season 18, she's been adamant that her biggest issue is that he still lives with his parents. While David, who's in his mid-30s, has shared that he moved back in with his parents after living on his own for years in order to help them as they get older and save money for his future, Michelle doesn't seem to care. From the moment Michelle found out about David's living situation during the early moments of their relationship, she's found it impossible to deal with. During the home visit episode of Married at First Sight Season 18, Michelle was floored to see the state of David's basement apartment in his parents' home. While David had been trying to downplay the way he lived, it was clear that she was right to have a few concerns. Even so, Michelle hasn't been able to handle the reasoning behind David's decision to live with his parents, nor has she been able to be respectful about her husband's choices. Although I'm on the fence about David's living situation myself, I don't understand how Michelle feels comfortable disrespecting David's choices. After nearly a full season of watching Michelle go in on every issue she has with David's personality, behavior, and thought process, I don't think she has a lot of empathy toward others in her day-to-day life. Michelle has consistently called David out for some of the most minimal, inoffensive behavior, like disliking that his eating habits or finding his clothing to be too casual. Michelle's nitpicking of David's behavior has been tough to watch at times, and her behavior has been overwhelming for both viewers and her MFS husband. While Michelle's nitpicking seems to come from insecurity, it's inappropriate. Michelle's inability to empathize with David has been something I've noticed throughout the season. While she's been comfortable criticizing David at every move, it feels like she has no grasp on how her criticisms could make her Married at First Sight husband feel. Michelle's inability to be kind to David has been difficult to watch for most viewers, and her lack of empathy points to some serious issues that could be present in her personal life. Michelle may not be able to empathize, which could lend to some MAFS fan theories about what's going on with her difficult mental health. Although Michelle has been able to look at David's situation from a few different angles, the fact that she seems so offended about things like where David lives or what he wears gives credence to the idea that she's a bit superficial. While Michelle appears to be someone who values hard work and dedication in some circumstances, it's clear that there are some other issues that she places more value on. For instance, in a recent episode of Married at First Sight, Michelle made it clear that she doesn't like David's fashion sense in the slightest. Throughout MAFS Season 18, Michelle and David have fought through some incredibly strange things, but the mountains she tends to build out of molehills aren't typically the most logical or rational. Michelle cares more about what others think of her than she appears to let on, which have made some of David's issues even bigger and brighter in her vision. While Michelle may have some of her own issues to deal with, the Married at First Sight participant may be picking at the least offensive parts of her partner.